Hey everyone, I love that intro. I don't know about you, it always gets me moving, gets the blood flowing, and that's what we're here to do this evening. We're here to talk about our upcoming retreat, the Bali experience. And last time we shared about our whys, and we might touch about that a little bit, but this is about understanding how when we slow down, we can actually rise, we can have more vitality in our lives, as this retreat is created for that exact moment. Because when so many of us feel so stretched, there's a lot of overload in our minds, in our bodies, in our nervous system. And we are here to design this retreat to shift something deeper within you. And that is your nervous system. So that way you can return home a little bit more clear and grounded, and bring home tools with you that build more resiliency to everyday stressors. So before I keep going on, I'm going to bring up my wonderful co-host and wonderful Tony, who is our support person for our retreat. Welcome in, friends. So good to have you here.
Hi, April. We did that on purpose.
Did you do that on purpose?
No.
It's like we practiced.
Yeah, and so I know where you're tuning in from, but share with everyone where you're tuning in from, Brian and Tony. It looks a little, dusk there.
It is like the Midwest farm from the 1900s. I bought it 6 years ago. This is my little farm right in the middle of Kansas City. So it's kind of an odd, it's in the city limits, but it's kind of weird to have a little farm. So I'm keeping it as original as I can, and this is part of it. So
it is a sanctuary.
You hear an owl or something, they're all around right now.
They are. And it looks like we have Sabrina here with Soul Sync Collective. And Sabrina is actually going to be a guest for our retreat. So I'm very excited to have her as part of this. Thank you. Yeah, his property is absolutely amazing. Let me tell you, there's some magic happening there too. And Sabrina's all the way in New York. So Sabrina, if you ever have a chance to get to the Midwest, I know that I and Brian would love to host you. Yeah. So go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, so on my farm here, we run a little nonprofit for people like us to spread healing modalities. So it has a pretty good history, but what we've brought in from that history is, to allow other people to enjoy it too. So that's a little bit of what we do here, but there's a lot more.
Mm-hmm. So that'll be another live, right? Great. Yes. Well, I am very excited just to be here and to share with people our vision for this retreat. As you know, we had an amazing time last November, and we had an overwhelming response to do it again. And so we rose to the occasion, and Tony said, "Count me in." Tony, do you mind sharing just a little bit about what you're excited about for this retreat with us?
I'm excited about everything. I'm excited to go back to Bali. I'm excited to see the resort and the staff again. It was such a special place and experience just to be there. And then everything about the retreat was amazing. So I'm really excited to go back and help people have the same kind of experience that I had when I was there, which is transforming, life changing.
I'm glad you brought that up about, transforming because with the modalities of the techniques and things that we're going to be sharing, this is what we're doing. We're literally shifting things from the inside out for those who are wanting to let go of the tensions, to bring more clarity, in the mind, and more clarity of understanding kind of how our bodies work, that mind and body connection. Yeah. Brian, what do you have to share about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I love the approach that and the only way I can really describe it, I mean, we've all tried to describe it. It's just almost impossible. You have to go and be, it's effortless. Like it is hard work in the moment. I cannot lie. I cannot stretch it, change it in the moment, but it's guided. You don't need to do anything but just listen to the invitation, and you arrive so much further than you ever thought you could go. You come back a different person. The best parts of you rise to the top, and they've been oppressed for how long? Since you were 10, since you were 20. And it doesn't have to be a significant thing. There's really no shame or blame going on. It's not what happened. It's how you can navigate it now and live a full and happy life.
Yeah.
Midst of chaos, right? Slow down, and then you rise.
And I love what you just said, Brian, about the best parts of you can surface.
Yeah, I love these modalities that don't mute any individual qualities. They allow a person to surrender what is false, that protective measure, the anger, the rage, the hate. We experience some of those things. You're encouraged to. That's the transitional part.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the retreat, it's like, what happened? Why am I? I can literally handle anything right now. I can communicate my desires and needs effectively so anyone can receive them. I know what they are. I love that part. That's my favorite. That keeps me coming back and doing it and experiencing it.
Exactly. And it shifts every time, doesn't it? And so before we go further, I know that there's some people that are watching that maybe didn't catch the video before. So I'm going to pop up the video really quick so people can kind of get a feel and kind of taste. And then we also have guest testimonials throughout the video. So here we go.
We design are specifically created for someone that said, I want to find myself. Or you've ever heard someone say, I just don't know who I am. The multi-layered approach to this gives you the answers before the questions are even completely formed. So at the end of one of these retreats, the integration process starts and your life just unfolds.
You feel overwhelmed, having that pressure of everyday life. This is where we can come together to find that space for expansion within ourselves.
It's so rare to meet so many beautiful strangers, to sing with them, to dance with them, to laugh with them, to cry, to release so much baggage, challenges and limiting beliefs and fears and bond and share stories. I've never experienced anything like this before. It's just a really touching, magical experience that I'll never forget.
It's been an experience, it's been an adventure, it's been emotional, it's been so full of love and gratitude. Yeah.
The most transformative part for me this week has been hands down the breathwork sessions. They will take you so far in beyond yourself, and it is a complete blessing to get to meet yourself there for the first time.
I was able to move through a lot of emotions that have been stuck in my body for decades.
It was nice to be vulnerable in such a large group of people.
To be able to tell the truth, some of the things that I had never, articulated them, for them to come out was very freeing. I think that for me was a transformation, to get away from the pain and to know that I'm gonna be okay.
So we all start as strangers and you walk away as family. And I mean the kind of family you've always dreamed of.
The expansion within ourselves brings peace of mind and really a spaciousness within ourselves. So that way we can address the challenges in life with more resiliency and feel more grounded and at ease in everyday life.
One of the reasons I signed up for this was because of April and Brian. I knew I would be held in love in a safe place, and I would recommend them highly.
There's a lot of people that I would recommend this to, everybody I know.
If you feel called and ready, we'd love to meet you.
Oh, I so love that video. What was that?
It never gets old.
It never does. It never does. Yes, and Sabrina sharing that she can't wait for that experience for her, and she loves that video. Yeah. And this is what we're here. This is our calling. This is what it is for me. And I know you and Tony, you both feel the same way of being of service, of being a witness for people, and hold that space, because when we're going the day-to-day grind, we lose that trust not just in others, but in our own selves.
Oh yeah.
And this space go ahead.
I think that limits people a lot, that loss of trust in yourself. I know that's manifested in a lot I've worked with. It's very evident in the middle of a breath session, right? It becomes a physical expression of like halting, and that's when the facilitator, you, me, Tony, it's all going to be. That's the delicate reassurance that we offer in the middle of these very profound moments that shift people completely. Is that just permission? You have to develop that trust, right? It has to start, and then the confidence of repetition. You need permission first.
Yes, and it's just as you said that, then Sabrina asked this question, surrender is such a big task. How do you help people surrender?
I struggled with surrender for a long time because I felt it was quitting. I felt it was lack of stamina or commitment, maybe a loss of loyalty. I didn't like surrender. Surrender is what people did on TV shows when war was won and they were taking the prisoners away. That's to me what surrender was. And I've totally reevaluated surrender. I believe the definition is to understand there's a better way and then adopt it. You're not fighting it. You're like, oh, wow, there's a different, better way. Let's try that.
And interestingly, I've done breath work both in private sessions and in the group in Bali. And I definitely had a lot of resistance in my one-on-one sessions, but did not find that when you're with a group that you're there with them, they are already surrendering. It's going on around you. You can hear it, you can feel it. It's there, and it just makes it easier. It's comforting. I didn't even realize that I was doing it sometimes until I was deep in it and out on the other side.
Yes. Thank you for sharing that, Tony. And we don't script this at all. This is us just talking freely and allowing this to organically unfold. And that's perfect because allowing ourselves to be seen and witnessed by others, that we feel seen, heard, and valued, that's when we can relax a little bit more and allow ourselves to go in those spaces where we've had a lot of fear, being, held there. And Sabrina, she makes a great comment here that it's so challenging and fear kicks in so quickly when we, even hear the word surrender. It's like a loss of control.
Yep. I want to know. I was waiting until you were done talking. Yes, that does not occur during the breath session. That's what makes it magical. So there's a ton of physiology we could talk about, like actually what chemical reactions happen. But I can tell you, high level, that these specific breathwork techniques render your brainstem into a very safe place. And so you develop a path of expression that was not allowed before. So you're not losing any control. You're actually embracing it and understanding you have had control all along.
Mm-hmm.
So that it's very, yeah, because I would never, I wouldn't be where I am right now because I didn't even think meditation was a thing before breathwork. I'm like, this is ridiculous. What are you talking about? Slow your mind. What does that mean? You don't need to know. You don't need to. All you need to do is show up and just take the invitation. It's all going to be an invitation. They're not going to force you to do anything. But if you take that invitation, everything will be different. You will see everything differently.
Yes,
Show up.
because go ahead, Tony.
I was just going to say, show up and set a positive intention.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the only two things you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
It is true. And to be curious. I think curiosity is so important because then we let go of expectations. Expectations we first and foremost that we place upon ourselves of how we need to do something to shift it. But being curious of the breath work and the Osho meditation that you lead, Brian, can you just briefly touch upon that and why that's so different from other meditations?
Osho meditations that he has thousands. So we focus on some higher level physical. I would say it's physically not challenging. Anybody can do it. You can modify it, but it engages your physical body and your mind in a way that you slip into this meditation. You can't stop it. You can't fight it. It's for me it's a physical mental confusion that's designed to just put you in a place. And everyone's in the same place. That's the beautiful thing about this breath work and these meditations is even if you're having maybe some difficulties jump starting that specific meditation, the three people around you are already doing it and you just do it. It just happens.
Yeah,
You ease
it's an
into it.
energy.
There might be a couple it's
Yeah,
the energy. Yeah, we're sharing.
It is. And you don't have to know exactly what that is, but we are all energy and it's that ripple effect. And when we have that container and this amazing space where the retreat center is held, we'll talk about that in the next live call, by the way. It does. It's easy to let go, to surrender, to be in that space and move and breathe and have these experiences. And I love Sabrina. You have so many great questions. So Sabrina is asking, do you mind sharing what Osho stands for?
So Osho is a man. He's a man. He's had several names. He's a guru, an Indian guy. If you get a chance to look up some of his videos, they are fantastic, but you have to be very patient because he talks so slow and so quiet. You have to be really intent. But I used to fall asleep to some of his just conversations that they would record. He's got several books, and he's designed so many meditations. And the active meditations are, you can be pretty swell. Bali makes you sweat too, though. It's a warm climate, and we're in a right on the beach, so the cool air comes through. But yeah, these active meditations we start each day with, and it's a beautiful way to get going. It's before breakfast, and you feel like you've won the lottery before breakfast. You wake up, move, and it's like, yeah, why am I not doing this every day? And I don't do it every day. I want to, but we will there.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, and it's an active meditation. So we're moving and there's music playing, so it's not sitting still in silence, because a lot of times our minds are moving so fast that we need that outlet. We need to move the body in order to achieve the stillness in the end. Isn't that part of it too, Brian? Because at the end of an Osho meditation, then we're kind of in a savasana, or a meditative, like we lay down and just breathe and just witness what's happening with our bodies.
Yeah, it's a collapse. It's a collapse, right? And you feel it because it's so well. They're all so different, right? They have different effects, but there is a silent portion. But inside of you, it couldn't be more. All these things just unlock these. Sometimes you see things. Sometimes it's a full emotional release. They're not very wordy. They're very specific instructions. You can't mess them up. You don't need to be a professional. You don't need to have any experience, but you have to show up and be ready to just do things. And they're going to be weird. I'm going to ask you to do some weird things, but we're all going to be doing the weird things together.
And that's
then all of a
to
sudden you're
get
like,
us
wow, this
out.
is so weird.
Yeah, to get us out of our heads and to shift.
Yeah.
So that way it's like, what the heck's going on? And then afterwards it's like, wow, I really needed that. And it's so interesting because everybody had mentioned that. So, if people want to Google it and look it up, Osho meditations, please do. We want you to know what you are going to, experience through our time together. So we're actually going to coordinate a discovery call with those who register. So that way we can break it down, can give you more information. So that way you don't show up totally surprised about it. And that helps to kind of ease the resistance or the unknowing there. Yes, and Shine is here. Hello, Shine. Thank you so much for showing up here, friend. And she says that she's heard of Osho meditations, and it sounds like a life-challenging experience. Well, this is growth. This is how we grow, right, friend? Yes.
Are life-changing for sure. And that's just one element, though. And it's not, what I really enjoy about the way that we do things, and the way that I love to do things, and I like to give credit where it is due. I've collected a lot of beautiful, amazing things in my life. Techniques, verbal patterns, ability, I like to listen. Some people don't know how to do that. But Osho is an amazing tool that is one of many tools that we're going to be using over this time frame. And it fits. It's a cornerstone, right? It fits. It takes something that we couldn't accomplish before and does this perfect piece of the puzzle. And it's a great way to start each day and reset. By the end of the week, you will think, well, which Osho meditation am I going to do tomorrow in my hotel room or wherever I'm staying in Bali for a little while? Like, you look forward to it. It's always different, but it is a constant. Um, yeah, you'll come around to really loving some of them and possibly hating some of them. But at least you'll experience a wide variety.
Yeah, Tony, what was your experience with the Osho?
We did so many things that I'm not really sure which thing was what, if I'm being honest, but I am certain that there were things that I didn't love.
That we hit triggers for sure, and they're targeted and they are guided and delicate and seen, and being seen in a trigger, authentically seen by someone that wants to see you in that trigger, that's healing.
It is.
I know I was always ready for them. I was ready to show up, watch the sunrise, and then get to it. It was good.
Oh, and the sunrises are absolutely stunning, as people can see the background here. That was taken in Bali. And I also want to just touch upon a few other things that we'll be talking about. So this Osho meditation, I learned, and Brian, I think you first learned, correct me if I'm wrong, from BBTRS, from the BioDynamic Breathwork and Trauma Release trainings that we were in. Was that your first experience with Osho?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
And then I've gone on
Yes.
since and I'm still training. There's so many, and they do offer trainings both in Greece and India. They have an online presence. They used to have universities in a lot of different countries, but they've kind of come down to those two big locations.
Yes. So the reason why I wanted to bring up about BBTRS is because Brian and I are both certified practitioners, online and in person, for biodynamic breathwork and trauma release system. And it's not a weekend, you just get your certification. This is hundreds of hours that we spent in these trainings and working with people one-on-one. So we are trauma-informed practitioners, and that makes a big difference when you're in a space, in a retreat, in this sanctuary that we create, knowing that you have that support, and just how we connect with our guests and hold you in, compassion. So that way, if there is some activation happening, you know that you are truly held, right, in love and compassion. And I'm excited for Tony to be here to be a support person too, because she's also a Reiki practitioner and she's heading to a BBTRS training near Tulum, correct?
Yes.
Yep. I'm still trying to figure out how to help out there. I already called Gatan, and he's like, I could use some help. But I'm also working at a local research hospital, and I don't know if that's going to collide. But yeah, I mean, I have well over 2,000 hours in training with Gatan.
Yes.
Both my training and then assisting him in different trainings in different places. So it's been an honor to have trained under him and then train with him.
Yes.
I'm still going to continue to do that. It's just, I don't know, it's just the right thing to do to help spread a modality that actually heals people.
It does. It's
I know,
science-based.
because I've been on a journey. Oh yeah, totally science-based.
Mm-hmm. And Giten Tonkov is the founder of the BBTRS and the Biodynamic Breathwork and Trauma Release Institute as well. And I did my best. All my in-person trainings were with Giten as well. And I feel that I enjoy connecting with the source, with the person who is leading it, and with the other trainers are amazing as well. So I just put the comment up there from Sabrina, and she says, Greece is also on the bucket list. Yeah, they do trainings in Greece as well, and other experiences there. So I encourage people to look at the BBTRS website. I'll put that on the description page afterwards, but you can look it up. Is it biodynamicbreath.org? Is it, Brian? I believe so.
You type biodynamic come up as your first thing. And our retreat is listed on there under one of their experiences. They offer very few experiences. They offer more trainings. They have online training, they have in-person trainings. But right now they only have 2 experiences because they have to be biodynamic based, and it has to be certified practitioners. So it just, most practitioners do this out of their own, area. But to lead a retreat based in this is very unique. It's not common.
Exactly. And I'm very honored that we're part of the BBTRI, website, that we are on there listed as practitioners, and we have this retreat listed there as well. So I want to bring it back to you, Tony. You've been very quiet over there, although you have a wealth of information too. What will you be adding to our experience here in Bali? What's calling you to be there as a support person?
I wasn't prepared for
I
the
know.
interview question.
I'm going to put a spotlight on you.
I mean, April and Brian are bringing me back, right? I mean, the experience was, I say this over and over, literally life-changing for me. And it expresses in so many different ways throughout my life. Sometimes I don't even realize it when it's happening. Sometimes I do. And I like to help people. I like to, I'm a Reiki practitioner. I have my studio here in Kansas City. I always want to help people along their journey, and you can't do the work for them, but you can be there for them and hold the space. And so all of it, I'm looking forward to all of it. The connection that you share with the people that are there, watching that video that you played again, it takes me right back there. I have tears in my eyes. I see these people that are going to be my friends for the rest of my life, and I need more friends. Who doesn't need more friends? So.
Yes, exactly. And that's perfect, as it said in the video, right? One of the most powerful parts of this retreat is building that community, right? Mm-hmm. And people do leave with lifelong friendships, people that you would have never met anywhere else, or maybe in passing, you would think, oh, I don't have anything in common with them. But we're all human. And that's the commonality. Our experiences, when we become transparent and share and be seen as vulnerable, that's the human connection. That's when people are like, oh my gosh, I feel that too. I can relate to what this person is expressing right now. And this is what creates that community. This is what sets our retreat apart from others.
How do you express that, though? How can you tell someone the authenticity that they're going to experience, both externally and then exude, without them having a reference?
They have to experience it themselves. They have to be in that curiosity and be open. That's the only way it happens.
right? We do talk, but it is not a talk therapy. It's not, there are healing words, but that's not what it's all about. That's just the honey at the end, really. I don't know. I mean, I'm struggling with how to fully explain the magic that happens, but it's real. I feel like
It is.
most of our world is not real.
I think it's hard to explain because we're so superficial. You ask somebody, "Oh, how are you doing?" and they say, "Fine, good, you." You know, we have this very basic dialogue that we have with other humans, and we don't take the time to be vulnerable and share intimate things with them. And when you do, bonding happens. And so that, I think that's why it's hard to explain, just because it's not an everyday thing. It's a rare thing to do and experience. So thanks, April.
Yeah, and it can only
Um,
happen when people feel safe
Yeah.
and supported. When they feel that safety, they can let the guard down. They can,
Yeah.
and through these, this is why we do the Osho meditations, movement, shaking things up, shifting our mindsets of how we're relating to our bodies and to ourselves, and then sharing our experiences with each other, and then, you know, doing the breath work also helps us to self-regulate, helps us to witness things. And I love Sabrina's question about what would example of activation, as you put it, that someone could expect or maybe experiencing. So I like to say activation versus triggers. That I've replaced activate or heightened
Mhm.
from triggers. So it's the activation of the nervous system, of even thoughts that jump in of, well, what do you mean by that? You know, like it's that triggering activation, hyper active response that we have. I hope that's helpful, Sabrina.
There is an activation that can come in breath work, and we
Oh,
call
yes.
it like a charging breath. And it has a
Yes.
very physical response before it has an emotional response, or overlapping. Sometimes you can't tell the two apart.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, you hear these owls. They are so loud. They sound like monkeys in the forest.
They do. Oh my gosh,
Are you
Bali's
hearing
already
them?
calling in.
I know.
Okay, so now Sabrina has great questions. Have you had anyone join the retreat that would relate more to an introvert? I'm going to pass the baton on to Tony. Tony, what do you think about that?
um,
Did you see anybody who was an introvert that was kind of reserved at first in the
yeah,
retreat?
most everybody,
Yeah.
probably 80%. Is that what you
I'd say,
said?
yeah.
75, 80% of the people. Yeah, for sure.
Sometimes they'll be practitioners and they're there for work. And you can see that the first day or two. And then all of a sudden, they know they're not there for work. They were never there for work. They were there for them, and then they can adapt it for work later. But I, I mean, I didn't study breath work at all. I showed up for a retreat. I knew nothing. I sat in the back. I'm sitting in the back. No one will notice me back here. Gatan was back there immediately. And yeah, yeah, I think most people identify as and have an introversion, or at least the authentic parts are introverted. Does that make sense? The real parts. And kind of to bring this back to what Tony said about good morning and fine, and it's also a lot different when someone actually says good morning and actually wants to know how you're doing, and then you can really say, I'm amazing. I feel really good. You know, it feels good to have interactions the way they should be had. And then you can take it back.
Yes. Yeah. And Sabrina is just blown away, right? To support and help people feel safe. Because what we're doing here is we're meeting people where they're at. We're going to ask, this is part of the retreat. So if this is something that doesn't appeal to you, then maybe there's another retreat that would be more beneficial. But the people that we're calling upon are those that are ready to tune in, to do different types of modalities, that are, maybe they're tired of like the weekend seminars. You know, you walk away feeling like a little light, a little like, oh yes, this is hopeful, this is great, and then just reverts back into the same routine again. And that's because of the conditioning of the body, of the mind. So these modalities, these techniques that we're going to invite you to experience, is science-based, of shifting the nervous system, of breathing into those spaces, of being aware of you, of your body, because this amazing container is where the magic happens, and that's from the inside out. So if this
I know we spend a
feels
lot
like
of time,
something, yeah, go ahead, Brian.
we spend a lot of time talking about like the emotional responses and stuff, but I mean, physical ailments are healed during these sessions. It's profound. This is not, you're gonna feel good because you just breathed a little bit too much. This is rewriting neural pathways. This is opening up and creating like cognitive rebuilding tools. You know, people start walking better by the third day.
Mhm.
You know, people that have to sit the first day, they don't want to sit the third day. You know, their knees their knees start to bother them sometimes. You never, like, there's a lot that goes on, but it's very, very healing. And for that's for what, chronic, but a lot of these chronic issues stem from the bioenergetic retention of traumas. And whether or not you want to assign it in your brain, your body assigns it immediately. And then it, over time, can be debilitating. So those things come up and get dealt with.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes without you even thinking about it, without you, we'll enter into an ocular belt of tension. We'll be working on the eyes and the breath work, and the whole day's structured that way. And something comes up, something huge from 20 years ago, and it's not that big and scary anymore. It's manageable. There's room around it.
Exactly. Yeah. And again, it is feeling comfortable enough to allow to go there and have those experiences and be a witness for other people, because we do work in close proximity with each other, and we have little family groups that we have everybody in, and share their experience afterwards. And so that makes it more meaningful. That deepens that community that we talked about before, that Tony alluded to earlier. Yes. And Sabrina's so grateful, right? As she says that, you know, with her experiences with other retreats, she's found that most people who host them claim to guarantee mind-blowing results, but they don't discuss such details as you have. Well, we have nothing to hide. We want people to know what is in store for them, all the amazing things. And we're just a little tip of the iceberg here. We're just giving you a little taste, so that way you feel excited and ready for a shift, for this transformation. Yeah. Yes. So we Any last words for our viewers, people who are watching now, people who will be watching later?
The transitions that happen during the retreat are amazing and beautiful, and can be like watching fireworks. But the real magic happens when you get back to your life and realize it's not the same. You've ushered in something totally different, and it's you. You are different, but you don't see that right at first, right? You think your life is different. So we have instructions, and we are there for you after you return. But it's like pack to go, and then you might have to repack to come back because you're going to be different. You're going to need different things. I think the last time we were there, Tony and I thought about just buying a container. We actually talked about we're just going to need a container because our old life is done. We need this new life. And we're going to have to bring back a whole bunch of Balinese stuff. Yeah, it's totally you're different, and it's you have a lot more freedoms and liberties than you thought you did.
How about you, Tony? Any last words?
All of that. I don't know. I mean, who's to say what somebody's going to get out of it? I think witnessing it, everybody got something different, and I'm not sure that anybody got what they expected to get out of it. That's the other thing, you know. People may have had expectations, and you know, maybe they were met, maybe they were exceeded, maybe their expectation was just completely blown out of the water. I don't know. But yeah, show up and find out.
Yes, I love that. Just show up and find out. And I also want to share with everyone that we do have, and I'm going to take us into the corner here. We do have the early bird pricing still going on, and that ends next month, October 10th. So that is something that you really want to take advantage of now. It's set at a very reasonable price. It's $29.75, and it just requires the $555, the $555 US deposit. And Brian's dog agrees. And then the rest of the payment is due by October, or we could push it out a little bit. But as long as you get that deposit in, you are in there for the early bird pricing. And then the pricing goes back up to $33.33 after October 11th of this year. Although a payment plan option is still available with that, if that fits your needs. And if you want, you can scan that QR code in the upper right-hand corner. That will take you right to my website that has all the information for the Bali retreat. And this is an actual sunset there. We'll talk about the venue next time. We'll talk about cultural experiences and other exciting things that we have in store for you. And then also, this is part of it too, the waterfall experience, as you can see here. And also a ceremony that we have. So this is what we have in store for you. We are so excited to invite you on this journey with us. And please reach out to myself, to Brian, to Tony. If you have any questions whatsoever, we're here for you. And I know Brian had to put himself on mute because his dog was barking at the owls or somewhere. So thank you all. Thank you all who showed up. Thank you so much, Shine and Sabrina, for, it looks like you lost volume, for being here, for all the questions. And we are so excited to host you for this amazing, amazing experience. So Until next time.
Sabrina, can you
Thank
hear
you,
me
Brian. Can you hear me? Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Tony. Be well.